And welcome everyone to Cigar Sundays. I am Chef Earl Pearl at DBCHEFTV across all social media platforms. Across the web is where you can find me. And I'm always joined by the illustrious Cigarden Panel. I am Jazz Garcelle and Ali Dawu L at BK Soul Farm. Make sure, if you're just joining us tonight or you back, make sure that you look in the link in the bottom in the description. All the panelists and myself, we have a host of wonderful things on our websites that you can go and support the channel. You can go and check out everything that we have going on. Let's get into the show. Good evening, family.
Peace, God.
Peace.
Can't hear you, sis.
Keep tapped in with what we're doing. So, yeah.
What you say, Jazz? What you got for us?
Okay, I said definitely, like our host said, TB Chef, please go on those links, check us out, all the extras. My links, I do music, I sing, I act, all these things. And I would love if you guys connected with me on social media. And I'm excited to get started with our new topic tonight. So stay tuned.
Absolutely. Man, and our new topic tonight. Let's get into it. Why waste any time? Wow, where did we begin? Fried chicken or the watermelon? Which one?
Hold on. I did not get that memo about the fried chicken, bro. What you?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, what you talking about?
Thanksgiving is 2 weeks counting. I'm counting down. I work in a school, so I'm counting down the days until Thanksgiving. What do you guys celebrate, and what is something that you like to eat other than the fried chicken topic? But do you do fried turkey, or you just obviously you're a chef, so.
Yeah, I'm not a chef.
You asking the chef?
DB Chef is the chef. So what
I get down, sis. I do. I get down.
You do. I can't.
Everything. You name it, we can chef it up.
Yeah, nah.
You, Ali, what's something that's on your Thanksgiving table?
Nah, every year we do the fried turkey.
Yeah, fried turkey, yeah.
Yeah, fried turkey every year. Yeah, real talk, like I actually like taking it over to somebody else's house because then we get to eat way more food. Right. Like, I like to go to my man chef crib and we get to chop it up.
Yes, indeed. Sounds like we want everybody to get together. Also, happy Veterans Day to all the veterans out there. And definitely we salute. Thank you for your service. Make sure if you are a veteran, we have an up and coming informational podcast called the Veteran Kettle Podcast. Make sure you go over there, like, subscribe. It's going to be some really good stuff we got coming there. A lot of information for veterans, active duty, and reservists as well. Because, if you serve, then you probably going to need this information. Getting into our topic tonight. All y'all the same. Okay. And I'm in a box. And there's stereotypes on this box. We're not really going to focus on the fried chicken and the watermelon.
Right.
But what we're going to focus on is how the stereotypes affect us or have affected us or continue to affect us.
Don't they?
Yeah, both. And the title, Where You From versus Where We Met versus Where We Going. I thought that would that would start us off. And the point where I'm starting off from is being a person who has traveled a whole lot. I've experienced the where you from on so many different levels. What's the most intriguing thing is, is I wonder if the person is asking, like, why are they asking me that? You know, there are obvious things. Like when you hear somebody from New York or a New York sounding accent, you may say, "Are
Yeah,
you
I
from
mean,
New
you
York?"
kind of have a New York sounding accent. Like,
But they may
Who's
say,
that?
I
but they
do.
may say I'm from Connecticut.
Mm.
They may say I'm from Jersey.
The
And the New
east,
York people would be
northeast,
like,
basically
don't
northeast.
nobody from Connecticut or New Jersey sound like us.
At all.
Right? But but you never know. It's because of some stereotype that a
Exactly.
person hears that and automatically assumes it. I'm guessing. I'm guessing. That's what we're trying to figure out. Okay. And the question, one of the questions is okay, why is that important? Why is where I'm from important versus where you're meeting me at? What type of comfort or box are you putting me in when you're asking me where I'm from? Like, are you correlating that with some other person that you may have met from that area and that experience that you had with that person? Is it from, it could be a love, it could be a like, you know, because everything is a negative. But that's what we're trying to understand. Like, what what's the dynamic of why is that important? I had a conversation with a young lady um who hires and fires, and she said during her hiring process, it's common for her to ask the people like, "Where are you from?" And I said, "Okay, is that what is that for? Is that to put them in a box of some preconceived notions that you have about people from there, or because our boxes are empty when we meet each other?
Exactly.
All right. If I don't know you, like based on where I'm from, isn't going to determine our relationship.
Right.
So,
People do
so I
that a
wonder why
lot.
it's so. Say that.
Oh, I'm sorry. In here in Pittsburgh, that's a huge, huge thing. When we first moved here, people are all like, "Well, where are you from?" Which obviously I was from somewhere else. I'm from a different state. But even so, if you're from Pittsburgh, people want to know what neighborhood you're from, and it kind of gives you like this vibe, like, "Oh, I'm from Homewood. Oh, I'm from South Side. Oh, I'm from whatever." It kind of gives people like an idea of what type of person you are or what you've been through. But I don't agree with that because everyone's been through things in their lives, good, bad, ugly. And but I think it's kind of a small town mindset, specifically here, with some people when they say, "Oh, you're from this place, so you must be, you know, this way or this, you know, this type of personality or what have you," depending on what neighborhood from Pittsburgh you're in. I never, was into all that, but you know, whatever.
And that's what
That's
we're trying to. That's some of the layers we're trying to peel back of it. Like, because I know plenty of people that aren't where they are from and where they are at and where they are going does not resemble where they are from at
oh,
all.
exactly.
You know, so
This guy.
What you say?
right. So that's something that we see in certain instances, and then we also have a lot of people that are still where they're from and they hold on to that,
Right.
and we're trying to find what value, where is that value? Because I'm thinking, if you meet me somewhere, like I give an example. When I was in the military, I would meet other brothers, okay, and I never was like, "Where you from?" Now I'm gonna be fair and honest. You know, for those who have served in the Coast Guard, they know the Coast Guard is predominantly white. Okay, so when you see another black person, you know, it's not an anomaly, but but though my
It
career
is.
was
You like,
almost,
brother,
you know,
another
it's like
one.
wow,
Like we
Right.
might be family for real.
another one of us. Okay, we getting
Right.
deep over
Right.
here, you know, and so maybe that exposure to it, maybe the way I was taken from my neighborhood environment and then being exposed to a military environment where I was just like it got removed from my mindset with like it didn't have a value anymore of for me to wear it on my sleeve. Like it has to define me, even though where we from does define us because that's our road to where we come.
Right. That's where we come from.
Right, that's our road to where we at. However, in that particular setting, I was just happy to see somebody who looked like me, you know,
Right.
and be in this environment coexisting and doing the same things. And I say that because when I joined the Coast Guard, I asked everybody, I asked all my homeboys, some of my cousins, was like, man, roll with me, come with me. But they ain't want to pull up, you
Hmm.
know.
And
Um,
that's a big decision, but that's awesome
huge.
that that's honorable that you would ask them to be a part of something like that with you, you know?
You say it's honorable.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
just
yeah,
scared to
yeah,
do it
yeah,
myself.
yeah, yeah.
That's all. You know.
Yo,
And what's
to
wild
be
is
I
all
believe
the
it.
other stuff that I was scared to do that I would do, everybody would do that with me. You know what I'm saying? But when I went to go do
Sure.
this, ain't nobody want to do that. You know, so
Right.
that was
yo, to
strange.
be honest with you, like the whole stereotype thing for me is kind of one of those things that you gotta accept while you don't like it at the same time. Like it's one of those hard hugs, right? Because the reality is you are a product of your environment, right? I'm gonna always be from Brooklyn, no matter what, no matter how long, I don't live there, no matter how much it changed, right? The thing that shaped me, right, is still gonna be who I am. And I can even remember growing up, just going to different neighborhoods, that whole where you from question being asked in the same city. So it's important, right? Like, yes, we're all individuals and yes, we're all distinct. However, we're all made up of our own surroundings, right? So if you're from a certain neighborhood that is known to be a bunch of scammers and a bunch of thieves and a bunch of whatever, and that's where you just so happen to be from, you might be an A student and a great person. However, the people that know about that neighborhood would look at people that live over there side eye, right? So that's negative, right? Because again, you might just be living over there because it might be cost efficient, right? It might not be necessarily because you a scammer and a thief and a whatever, but that's what live over there, right? When you come up out of that, you got to be the different person, right? If you don't want to be a scammer and a thief, you got to not be a scammer and a thief. Every time you get an opportunity to steal and take advantage of somebody, you got to not do that, right? But the moment that you fall for the trap, it's over, right? Like stereotypes are bad, but a lot of times, like they be telling the truth about somebody, right? Like they're not all negatives. That's my take anyway.
Like watermelon does taste good.
They
I
kind of
mean,
do.
Okay.
Kind of juicy.
And it is
Yeah.
nutritional.
Very much so,
It's
right?
delicious.
And you would be a fool to 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 let that stop you from nourishing your body and depriving yourself of everything that you need because somebody tricked you into, aha, look at that black man. He loves his black woman. Now, what I'm supposed to do? Not love my black woman because they said, aha, he a simp. He bought his wife flowers. He said he loved her out loud to people, in front of people, right? Like,
That's a whole nother topic right there. Just
Yeah,
the
but
black
yeah,
love thing and the yeah, but no, I understand what you're saying. And the whole word simp really bugs me. I mean, it doesn't bug me, but it's just like a man who wants to do something out loud for his woman or whatever the situation is. That's just BS. Just do what you want to do and
nah,
don't
simps
worry about what other
exist.
people are saying.
Simps exist.
But there we go with the stereotype, the word simp, just because you are doing something that other people might look at as weak or you're with,
Nah,
you're seen
no.
as a
So
simp.
so there's a lot of times. Uh, I think men and women have words that they use amongst themselves that only apply and are meaningful to themselves. And when other genders or other parties start to use those same words for other things, it kind of throws everything off, right? Like somebody opening the door for somebody or somebody doing something for nice for his woman is not a simp. Like any guy that or woman or anybody that thinks that is somebody is just bitter, right? Like that person is alone, right? And just mad that somebody else got somebody,
mm,
right? Like dudes that will not pay their child support or take care of their children so they can go uh, fly shorty out or have one of these expensive ass first dates for one of these dumbass females that don't care about themselves or that guy, right? Or that child that he may have, right? But she want to be flued out. That guy that does that instead of taking care of his child is a simp. That guy and the guy that buys his woman gifts, his woman treats his woman well, that makes his woman feel special. That man is a whole grown man that
homegrown.
loves his woman. The simp is the sucker that is abandoning his responsibility for flesh, right? That's a simp, right? So I may be stereotyping, and I can accept that I am, but
That might be a stereotype too, right? Come on with it though. That's why it ain't no right or wrong. That's how you feel.
but
That's how you feel, fam.
but I'm a little older, right? So I know how words have been used from my generation compared to what they mean now, and
There you go.
I accept what they mean now. However, I understand that when I'm saying something or somebody of my generation that I respect is saying something, they probably using the same words the way I'm using them,
Got
right? So we would differ on the definition of simp. Like just being a nice guy, I would just call that a good job.
you. Good job. Well, definitely with in correlating to stereotypes, a person, calling, guy's going to be called a simp with two,
Yeah,
and there was a clear two different dynamics. And I think, what I'm saying, we know one of them applies for sure. I'm definitely agreeing on that. I'm in that, take care of your women party. Absolutely. But Guys are skipping out on the babies for flying a baddie out. That's wow. I didn't even know that type of stuff was going on. Brothers need to get it together. Um, where you from? So I've been hearing that everywhere you go. I even share with like when you go overseas, a lot of times all the people know is New York. So
Mhm.
all you do is you just be like, if you don't want the hassle of trying to explain your geography, if you're not from New York, you just say like, yeah, I'm from New York. You just go ahead and just okay, and then enjoy yourself and do whatever you so I've been from New York a lot.
Word.
A lot. A whole lot. Dude. It's just like, yeah, I got off the plane, word, forget about it, you know. Um, and that was and those things, that was like a global stereotype right there where um, it was shocking to me that how influential New York is across the globe in comparison to all of the other cities and all of the other things that we have going on in
But
America here.
well, you gotta figure back. I don't know. Back when I was floating, and overseas, hip hop is it, bro. Like you talking about stereotype and how do they get the information? How do they get the image of what we look like, right? Like they get it from the music, and for a long, 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 long time, even now, right? Like the whole b-boy era is coming back overseas. I see mad videos of little Asian children b-boying and b-girling and and DJing and all kind of stuff, right? Like all that's like from New York. Like they don't know that. They don't know, you know, go go, right?
Go-Go is
Hip
more
hop
like
started.
DBCHEFTV.
like they don't know
I
that.
started. If it wasn't for the Bronx, that's why Brooklyn hate the Bronx so much. Shout out to the Bronx.
Yeah, we can fight
You know
all the
that.
time.
Shout out to all my family in the Brooklyn and
Alright.
in Harlem. What up? But
But
yeah,
really though, like the images go around, like the information go around, and that's how the stereotypes are created, and people try to live up to them. Like you say, you've been from New York bad times. You had plenty of opportunities to be like, nah, I'm from
it,
Baltimore.
it wasn't worth it.
It was.
It wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it because you see the joy in their face when it's just like New York City, like yes,
That's
New
funny.
York
yes.
City.
That's funny.
He just like New York City, yes.
That's funny.
Why not? Or you just throw some at word. Then they like, I said word. like,
Silly. Or sun. They say sun
yeah,
or
that
sun.
but it's like, it was just shocking, like, like um how even where I met those, even where I was meeting those people in those places, they still had an emphasis on where I was from. It still had an effect on how they received me. And that's what I wanted to, that's one of the things that we're examining, because I'm just like, okay, is it to make the person comfortable, or is it to put you in a box? Is it to box you in,
Box you in.
with some preconceived notions,
Just
with
box
or
you in, bro.
some
Depends on what the
preconceived
situation
stereotypes,
is.
you know, particularly, like you may be from Brooklyn, you may be from New York and not like the pizza, you know, so
That's crazy.
Right. Definitely.
New York pizza sucks. Like I got about 5 New Yorkers that's gonna be on me.
Yeah, you crazy. Like, because that's like a
Do not
hypothetical,
like that pizza.
About
and it's
What?
5 New
not
Yorkers
true.
that's gonna be on me in a minute.
No, you was about to say something, Sister Jazz.
What'd you say, Jazz?
Stu- Oh, I was just commenting. Not like the pizza. How can you not like? I mean, you
Oh wow,
Uh,
I know somebody you need to hang out with. Y'all can eat pizza all day. No,
Yo, nah, to answer the question, I think it's the box though, bro. Like I think with capitalism, everything is almost like soft warfare, and everything is we sizing each other up, right? And are you friend or foe? All right, like that's
did
what
you
I
say
especially
capitalism?
yeah, like the system that drives the world economy,
Oh, okay.
right? Is warfare. Is a put down system. Somebody got to be on the bottom so that others could win, right?
Oh,
And
okay. Like to put someone down and make yourself feel good almost.
yeah, like it's a whole thought process. Like it only like I got a whole mindset, right? That but when we think about overseas right now, they banging on each other, right? And a lot of them
Right,
look
trying to
like
get
each
us
other.
involved. I said, you know what? This is not our war. We're not trying to get
Yo,
involved.
but look though, right?
don't
But
get
like
me
they look,
started on that.
but now, but real talk though, but they look like each other though, right?
Absolutely.
So they don't be like, yo, where you from? Like, who are you? Like, are you friend or foe? Like, we gotta have a password, some kind of, you know.
Right now, see here, we do that. Where you from? Are you from down south? You from out the west? You from Midwest? You from up north? You from this place, that place, right? Okay.
Right.
Now we do that here, but when you go overseas, you American. And 9 times in,
Right.
are you from New
Exactly.
York?
You're just American.
Especially if you black.
Right.
Right.
So
Or black. Yeah, black American.
so
That's
we
true.
the only ones who practice this behavior. Over there, it is people do favor, like especially in the Mediterranean, um in those areas, like it is, you can tell that there was a heavy mix. Everybody was getting together. Okay.
Yeah.
um Middle and the Eastern Africa, not the Middle East, Eastern Africa,
Right. Right.
but it's
Completely
better
different
known as the Middle East.
place.
um but it's the same thing. And people ask where you from, but they kind of like know where you're from based on garb, attire, dialect of how you speak to certain,
So they
um
don't have to ask.
right. So it's really like they don't have to ask, like if you were Egyptian and you in Libya, like they know you from Egypt. If you Liberian and you a Libyan and you in Egypt, they know. So, and then like that's it. It's not really like you're a black Libyan or a white Libyan or Mexican American, a Mexican Libyan. It's just like,
I don't know, man. I think they got those kind of systems everywhere, bro.
I haven't seen it like that. Like,
Nah.
I haven't seen it like that. Definitely not in the, you know, um, not in. I've seen it in some, like it's defined, right? Like there's still like sections of it's still socio economic classism, like everywhere you go,
Hmm.
because of our money system. But what I see mostly is like it doesn't matter if your complexion.
Correct.
It's just if you
Really?
from here, you from here. Yeah. Now that doesn't mean that you won't see people with different complexions living in different capacities. Okay.
Right. Of course. Just like in America.
Yeah. You know,
Yeah, they got a real
But is
nationalist
there is there
thought
colorism?
process.
Oh, I'm sorry.
say that again.
Me. Is there colorism in those places?
It's
like
colorism
you're
across
saying
the
like
world,
Yeah.
not the Middle East, but like in Africa, because you're saying like
across the
the whole
world,
continent of Africa. But
across the world. There's colorism.
wow.
Yeah,
Mm.
it is very rare to find a nationality or group or country that does not practice some form of colorism. It's
That's
very
true.
hard,
That's probably
you
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
know,
That's
or
true.
sectism, like you born from a certain family, or
Yeah.
like it's very hard, you know, because it's removed, it's socio-economic. So
Right. It's
economics
not just your skin
move
color, it's
within their
everything.
social
Mm-hmm.
structure, who, like, I'm trying to build a social
Their family.
structure, but what I'm saying, I'm just like I don't think it's any hope. Like at all. Like I think y'all, I love y'all, But I don't know, man. And a few other people, but I'm just like, bro, like this is ridiculous. Is it hate? Is it what I put in there? Is it hate? Is it competition? Is
I
it
think it could be competition, definitely.
is it
it's
studying to
that's capitalism, bro. That's what capitalism do. It make you hate, it make you compete, right? Like we don't want to, for the most part. Like, see my shirt, my brother came up with this. My man, Coach, like he tell me all the time. He say, hey champ, we out here, we just spread out. We just spread apart, right? Because like you where you at, sis is where she at, and I'm way over here, right? But like you say, everybody else is crazy, but y'all the same ones, right? Love y'all to death, right? Because this is where you got to find the people that that you can build with and link with, right? Because everybody else is still following and still too busy not knowing, right? And while they not knowing, they standing still, just looking up,
just looking?
just
It's cool
looking,
to just look. And
just looking.
you can offer to help, and this ain't for everybody. You know what I'm
Mm-mm.
saying? This ain't for everybody, because this ain't for everybody who has communicated. But for the people who haven't communicated, it's like, wow. Like you reach out to so many people, and they say, when you're doing something, you're supposed to network. And I'm thinking like, so many people take things so literal and don't really see like the bigger picture, like the cohesiveness of the subject. It ain't about just what you gonna do for me or I'm gonna do for you. We don't support black business, period, like as a collective. So
Correct.
it's like, okay, if a person reaches out to you and say, okay, you have a black business, you have a black business, let's do something together. Okay,
Right.
I don't see what the problem is, especially if you do your research and everybody's on the up and up. Then then it's just like we just working together. It's as much exposure as you're going to allow your product and your brand. Like I can't, a person can't come to me and be like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. No, we're going to talk about it. We're going to have a discussion, because that's your brand. And you may have a path, or something designed that you want your brand to represent, or direction that you're going in. So it's good to powwow and work things out together as a collective, but just to not do it at all and just be in competition, like that's crazy to me. Because then it just make you a looker. And then it just make people, like, not me. Like, I never looked at a dude and had something, and then me be like, oh yeah, man, he ain't supposed to have, or I want that, or I need. No, I'm always motivated. Like, man, that's nice.
That's nice.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to figure out how I can, if I want something like that, I need to get
Especially if
this.
it's really
Yeah,
nice.
exactly.
I
It'll
kind
Yeah,
of need
motivate you even more.
it.
that's it. Now I
Yeah.
want to take nothing from them or nothing like
Nope.
that. I don't want to hurt nobody, man. You can learn, and then I can have the same thing if I'm willing to do the work. So that's where we're going. That's that part right there is the like where we going. So that's where I want. That's where I'm looking at where you from to where we met. I'm gonna give some a quick example, like Jazz. We from the same place, right?
Mm-hmm.
But where we met is different from where we going. You get what I'm saying? The
Absolutely.
circumstances under in which we met are totally different from the circumstances of where we're going. Okay.
Right.
It had nothing to do with where we were from.
Right.
All right. When I met
Mm-hmm.
when I met Ali, it had nothing to do with where we were from. Where we met is where we then begin to form our relationship and put stuff in each other's box, filling up each other's stuff with box, filling up each other's
That's true.
boxes. And now this is where we're going. So it didn't matter if this brother was from wherever he was from. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
What what we have, how we have loved each other, how our actions have allowed us to be comfortable with each other and respect each other. That's what is the defining thing on how we go forward.
Right.
It
How we
has
treat
nothing
each
to
other and
do
how,
where
yeah,
we were
not how it
from.
started. Right.
So that's where I'm saying, like, do people examine relationships and look at that? Like, it don't matter where you from. Like, I could be from a family that is just toe up from the floor up, but then I went and got my thing together, and then I had a family, and then my family changed the dynamic of, you know what I'm saying, things that I
Right.
disagreed
How
with
families
that
are supposed
wasn't
to be.
having, allowing the family to manifest so that way it, pardon me, so that way it'll be different for the youth, for the babies coming up behind,
Mm-hmm.
so somebody will have to change the dynamic. Now, there's a lot of stereotypes of where you're from, and you can still carry them things too. But when you examine it from this capacity, I'm saying this perspective, like, okay, how much of that has to do with where I'm meeting people at now?
Not a
Okay,
lot because
how
None of it
we're
almost really.
almost not a lot because, you could be from somewhere or, be know a wait, sorry. You're from somewhere and you have a whole mentality of where you're from and the things that you learned back when you were younger, before you were in the Coast Guard or whatever, when you're younger. But none of that has to do with what you're doing now and where you are at in your life now. I mean, it does obviously have a lot to do with it, but you know, you learn from things that were in the past and you become who you're going to be in the future to be where you are now or where you're going.
keep talking, I hear you, y'all go ahead.
Okay. Um, yeah, it's just
Yeah, nah,
like a
I'm
whole
rocking with you.
thing. What?
I said, now I'm rocking with you. It's
Okay.
kind of like
Um,
your past is important, but
oh, it's definitely important, but it shouldn't define your
it,
future,
it,
you
it
know?
can't. Yeah, definitely right. Because you are. If I meet you here, I met you here because I'm trying to do something here,
Right.
right?
I'm in the present. Don't judge me based on my past or what you heard or, whatever my past struggles were. Meet me here in the present and then we'll go to the future together and do good things or, whatever. Evolve in our friendship, relationship, what have you. And um, just with stereotypes, um, you know, obviously there's stereotypes with black men, black women, black every race. Well, not every race, but mostly our race.
Every race got
Every race, you think?
stereotypes.
Every
Yeah,
race, yeah. And
I think anthropologists create stereotypes, right? I think they go around studying people and jotting down, oh, they like to do this, they like to
like
do that.
notes and stuff taken down.
Yeah, I think they take notes and put them in
Taking
books.
notes on like human behavior and things like that.
That's what I think, right? And
Right.
they
And
tell people what they hear.
sociologists, yeah, they have to, because they're studying how we as humans, how we interact with each other, how we um, live our lives, how we raise our children, everything. And, it's almost like not the census, but, like you're saying, it's information on everything that we go through to have it as a reference point, almost not stereotypes, but a little bit stereotypes, but also lessons and just knowledge on the way that people are and the way people act in society and carry themselves, conduct themselves in whatever situation they're in. Like,
What would be the difference between a stereotype and a lesson? Like, would a stereotype only be considered a negative, or like a yeah, like a negative, like putting somebody down kind of thing? Because you can have negative
I
lessons as
believe
well.
I think, yeah, I think most people associate a stereotype with a negative connotation because, oh, that's a stereotype. Like black people like chicken or black people are good at basketball. I mean,
I
okay,
don't.
but then,
I
okay, it's
don't.
not a bad thing to be good at basketball, right? Okay, make those
No,
boundaries.
no, no, because there are some positive stereotypes. There's some positive
Right,
stereotypes.
That's what I'm
right,
saying,
Like
right? Like,
like
there's
when it comes
yeah,
to the Jewish community, everybody also always stereotype is like they got money,
right. They're rich and they're
you
good with
know?
money,
So that's a positive stuff, right? Everybody want to have some money,
right? Or, a Jewish
you know.
lawyer, or, that's
or
a
better yet,
stereotype too. But
if you hit one of them, you're gonna get the whole everybody on top of your forehead, right? The stereotype that they stick together.
Well, I mean,
oh,
it's a
okay.
lot of communities
Right,
that
right.
sticking together that, we haven't
Yeah, a
yeah, the
lot.
black community hasn't taken a page yet. But we're hopeful.
Definitely. We gotta be. We gotta be. We got to. Right?
Man, you got 30 minutes to make it to my crib, bro. Everybody.
We're hopeful. Yes, indeed. But look, so meeting somebody. Okay, so like I've never been incarcerated, like like a long period of time. So
Right.
like I've been to jail before. I've been locked up before, but I never been to prison. You know, or better yet, like jail. Like to say that I've been in jail and did a couple months or something like that. No, I never done that.
Hmm.
But people also meet people while they're incarcerated too. And when they
Oh,
come
yeah.
out, they're a hope where they're going is a lot different from even where they met those certain people at and formed relationships.
Definitely.
So to me,
That's true.
so there's stereotypes that come with that. And a lot of people that I know that have actually, they talking about Nelson overcame odds, which he did, but they also overcame odds as well because of how things are set up in society for people who have made some, poor choices that they just had to, go
Yeah,
do
like
their
wrong
time. And
place, wrong time.
but everybody is in wrong place, wrong time.
No, I know. I know. I'm just saying for those people, because like you're saying, a stereotype might be everyone in prison or everyone in jail. There is a cold hard criminal, like, a ruthless killer. But some people, they didn't do it. I mean, I don't know.
I don't
Some
know if they
people, they
didn't
were in
do
the
it or
wrong
not.
place, wrong time. They got caught up, different stories. And
Well, they had a really good reason.
To do it.
I guess, I guess,
you know.
depending on what the crime is.
No, he trolling.
Not,
Hold up. Let's hit some of these comments right quick.
Rocky,
We got Rocky Terry. She says, where you from is definitely like a salutation now. It immediately makes people feel comfortable if they have a relation to another. To me, it's not about them, it's about the person that asked, or it may be curiosity. Or it may be curiosity. Okay. And you said
So
it's to make
you
it
saw
makes
you saw
people
Mark in
feel
the back.
comfortable. One of y'all want to take that?
Yeah, I definitely think it makes people feel comfortable because you're trying to, you're trying to get to know them, see where they're from, see what they're about, where you're from, what's going on in your life, where are you from, it's that salutation definitely like, hey, how are you doing? What's your background? Um, but I think like when someone says, where are you from? It's like wholehearted, like, what's your background? What have you been through? What part of the country you from? What part of the city you from? Like,
That sounds so
all
nosy.
that.
Sound nosy.
What? Where you from? What side you from?
Right? And like I'm from Brooklyn, right? So it's like whenever
Brooklyn.
anybody walk up to us, it's like why you asking me that? Like why you asking me any questions? What you want from me? Right? Like it's funny.
Defensive.
Like it's interesting because um like growing up from the city, like all the boroughs got different stereotypes and reputations, right? And
Yeah.
Brooklyn had a reputation of being the grimiest, the roughest, the that stick you up, they rob you, and or then it transitioned into the scamming, right? So Brooklyn cast the scammers, right? Like they, so whenever somebody walk up to you and be like, "Hey, how you doing?" and they talking to you nicely, it's like, "Yo, what you want?" Right? I need all my stuff in my pockets to stay in my pockets. All right. And I still carry that same energy, but I am mindful of my environment and I smile out to everybody and I tend to greet people.
Right.
So yeah, it is probably just a greeting now. Like it probably don't mean nothing now, really. It's kind of like people saying, "Hey, how you doing?"
She said kind of like people saying, "Hey, how you doing?"
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
Hey, how you doing? Where you from?
Let's see. We got E.L. Henderson says the boxing of a person is easy to do. The unboxing is lengthy. Power
mm,
dynamics lends towards knowing that enemy. Easy way to know anyway in the stereotypical world is to ask them, where you from?
it's the truth.
That's true.
Right. It's easier to just be like, where you
That's
from?
what I'm saying. Like it's a whole like they do studies on people, right? They
It's
say
true.
these people do this.
They really want to ask some real deep questions. The
Hmm.
where you from is just a quicker uh, kind of way of getting to the start of the other questions.
Yeah, because you just
The
can't
un
come out and
as
say, "Hey."
as Erica's saying, the unboxing of someone's personality and their surroundings.
Keisha O'Neill said we don't hate the Bronx. She must be from Brooklyn.
Where you from, Keisha?
Must be from Brooklyn. Scotty Jingle said facts.
They say, I think the
E.L.
past.
Henderson said, I think the past, if we are a holistic culture and striving to break the curses of old, should inform the future. I think it's a slippery slope when you start fresh every time we build a new generation.
Oh gosh, don't
Oh,
get me started
definitely.
on the new generation, guys. Woo. Mm-mm.
Yeah, this is what we dealing with, though.
Yeah.
We are here now with it, and it's so many things that like we've been programmed, and so many normalcies that we have. We're not even going into everything. We're just trying to focus on just like what's going on with these stereotypes. You know, that is I think one
Well,
of
I
the
know for a
one
fact that I mean, we're here, we're doing a podcast, right? So there's lots of podcasts going on. And I would say that recently I've been seeing a few that are particularly geared towards black men and women, relationships, and in particular some stereotypes I've been seeing is, I mean, just anyone could be talking about black men aren't this and they aren't that, and but it's people perpetuating stereotypes and making it worse. And of course, not every black man is, a dog or a deadbeat or what have you. And it's terrible, you know, um, that they're just being perpetuated even more with these podcasts, just with social media, everything. And it's like people, we, especially as black people, we can't get away from certain stereotypes. But it's like, if you know that a stereotype is about your race, or that is, something that you're going through, that your race is going through, you have to take it upon yourself and be like, you know what, like, prove them wrong, prove the people wrong that think this. And then I know also on the other side, people don't give a crap what people think also, you know what I'm saying? But it's like a fine line between, you don't give a hoot what they think, and you don't want people to think that your people are this way. So it depends on the situation, and how deep you want to go with it, because every black man isn't, gonna end up in prison. Every black man isn't a statistic. Like, there's, I mean, it's just crazy some of the stuff I've been hearing lately on social media in particular. um,
real quick, Jazz. What are some stereotypes that we can't get away from?
mm, that that they are cheap, or that they don't know how to like treat a woman, or I've heard that one a
There's a
lot.
stereotype that all, but I mean, even with Denzel and
I just thought
But
we just
that's
ran
like the
fast
like
fantasy.
and
That's like
and
not
and
ate
Jay and
realistic.
watermelon
Beyonce,
fast.
like
But like
it looked like they
a
treat each
regular
other.
person.
You know,
Damn.
I
But
know
you know
some
what? The
personal.
people that's saying
I got
this
some
is
personal
probably,
people that I know that treat their wife real good. Salute.
oh yeah, no, me too. I know tons of people that are amazing.
You know what I'm saying? Like
No, I mean,
that I can consider myself to,
give me a call
want
right
to
now
take
and be
some
like, "How you
pages
doing?
out the book.
How's your
So,
wife? Your kids?" Yeah.
but other than that though, like,
The
what are
crime,
some?
the crime, like doing, you know, out here shooting people up, and drug involvement, in jail, or you've been to jail at least once or twice, like the crime stuff.
It says
Like,
black people love chicken.
I know. It's like so
love
redundant.
chicken. It's delicious.
Yo, I think that everybody that eat fried chicken like fried chicken, bro.
I mean, come on.
Like it's just good.
Yes.
It's just good,
I
right? Like,
mean, come on.
and and that's the thing, right? Like those shows, like they focus on the stereotypes only and solely as if they apply in totality
Right, to
to everybody,
everyone.
period. Right? So they act as if they are real and if they are true, and they don't never call BS on nothing, right? They just run with it, and we gotta start calling BS. And it's like, yeah, chicken tastes good, watermelon
Right.
tastes good, right?
Right.
Like,
Watermelon is
What
nutritious.
about grits?
I like grits. I like,
You know, with
yo,
some shrimp with
and,
them grits.
and
Yeah.
and to be honest, right? Like even this whole, if you southern this, if you up north that, do you put sugar in your grits or salt in your grits or this and that? Like
Oh yeah,
like the whole
the
food
great debate.
shaming, right? Like it's all shame, right? Like it's all, how can I put you down? How can I be make myself feel better because I'm more culturally accepted, or I'm more culturally appealing than you are because you might put sugar in your grits and I might put salt. right, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's
You telling me
like,
folks out here
Overdose.
arguing over diabetes
it's like
and high
you
blood
eating
pressure?
it,
Stop it.
like you eating it. I don't care. Right?
How about we just had the grits with the shrimp and and no sugar, and change our palate,
Change the palate, right?
That's it. Live to eat another bowl of grits.
Yeah, but they
With
would,
sugar.
but what makes good TV is the argument,
Yeah,
Exactly.
right?
It's the argument.
The
It's
the
not,
controversy makes good
yeah.
TV. Everybody want to see somebody get punched. Again, capitalism, right? Like it's the social, economical. No matter how you look at it, somebody got to be on the bottom. Like we are constantly in warfare, right? And we don't look at it like that. That's why we can't unify because we don't look at our situation like we in war, right? Like they got us brainwashed by the media. Like just how you say, you go overseas and everything is New York, New York, New York. Like that's all because of the hip hop. That's all because of the music,
definitely.
right? I mean, at least it was then. Like they nah, like even now, like they probably watching Power and everything over
You
Facts.
so New York. No, no, we was A-Town stomping all through the Mediterranean, and Usher and them had that thing. Yeah, man, Usher had it lit. Lil John, Lil John. Why you think Lil John cooling right
That's
now?
true.
Lil John
That's
super
true.
fade.
I was
Boy, I
over
was
there.
in Mexico to Lil John. I went to Spain. It was Lil John.
I hated Lil Jon.
The Romania, it
Oh,
was
I
Lil
love Lil
John. I was
Jon.
like,
It
yeah.
was everywhere. It was everywhere, right?
We had a good time.
But that's what I'm saying, right? Like it's because those kind of shows get a lot of views and they get a lot of comments and they create
Right.
a lot of
People like the
energy.
drama. People like the drama and the arguments and the
It works.
negativity. Not that any of it is true necessarily. Like it's, but it's sad that people perpetuate those type of stereotypes,
It's
which
marketable.
obviously, yeah, it's marketable. It's
But do we have people? Do we let's be honest though, do we have people that's just continually doing the stuff,
Yes.
that are making these stereotypes like there you go, like so
Yes.
we have to, be reserved as well. We have to adhere to some stereotypes too, if that is not how we if that is not behavior that we allow ourselves to participate in or approve of. So then we still have to be, we got to be judgmental.
I mean, hey, somebody's got to be
We got to
judgmental.
be judgmental, I mean,
Like I said earlier, right? Like when you get the opportunity to steal, you got to not steal, right? So they be like, oh, that cat, they known for stealing, but he didn't steal. He a good one, right?
and
That's
that day, that day,
What about
yo, bro,
yesterday?
one day at a time.
one day at a time, right? But he didn't steal from me. So
You
so
know,
our relationship must mean something to him since he steals from everyone else, you
you know.
know? So then do you try to fix that person and be like, hey, like, why don't you stop stealing? But they not. They just not. Because they a
Oh my
thief.
goodness.
They're they're a thief, right?
Yeah, like that's what they gonna do. They gonna steal.
And they probably steal it from you too. You just don't know it yet.
Just yet, right? You gonna, man, where I put that at, man? But yeah.
You know?
So definitely that's what you know, that where we're from versus where we met versus where we going and how it affects us, those things that in the relationship to stereotypes, and how where we from develops our habits. A lot of times that's the first things that we taught, first things that we introduced to. That's the first environment. So it kind of shapes us and molds us and gets us ready for whatever else we go into. But if you just stay there in that same place, and you don't ever go into anything else, then it's safe to say that the a person that just stays in that environment becomes completely consumed by every single stereotype of that environment because they aren't exposed to anything else.
Right. They're not growing. They're not thinking outside the box of themselves and their, current reality of the stereotype. They have to think broader because,
But
the
to them, what I'm
stereotypes.
saying is they not. What I'm saying to them about these particular people that haven't met anyone new. They've only met the people. They've only been in a same area.
So
Like their
somebody that
same
was
neighborhood. They haven't looked outside yet.
They haven't had an opportunity to. No one had. They haven't desired it themselves.
they can only do stereotypical things.
Right.
Like
That's
I think
that's sad. I don't. Mm,
I think because I mean they wouldn't know no different, right? Like they wouldn't know how to interact differently. Right.
right. Like
Again,
if they went
if
somewhere else, they would just be themselves, and not necessarily that it would be a bad thing or that how they conduct themselves is bad or wrong, but they just don't. They're not giving themselves an opportunity to learn anything else outside of
yeah,
what they know.
look at something as simple as saying what's up to somebody. Like saying what's up to somebody could start a whole fight. Like what's
Depending
up
on
then?
how it's received.
Like how it's said, how it's
Right.
received, right? Like depending on where you from, like those words mean something only that thing, right? So if you've never left that area and somebody says, so what's up today? So what's up today? Like what's up whenever? Like we can get it, we can get, we can move whenever.
See, that's some Brooklyn stuff right there.
Like, like
That's New
nah, that's what
York
I'm
where
just
everybody
saying.
Now
tense,
we gonna fight.
because in the South
Like,
it'd be like, "What's up now? All right, keep it all right, baby." You know what I'm saying? Like
but nah, real
it
talk.
ain't nothing. Like
But you do have to learn that when you're in a different environment, that things are different, right? These
right.
are not just same people that you're around. So they say what's up over here.
Right. And it just means what's up. It doesn't mean what's up. We about to like shoot stuff or whatever.
She said shoot
Stuff.
stuff.
Like, I don't know.
It
I
ain't
do
no
that.
smoke. That's what they say. It ain't no smoke. It
What's up?
ain't no smoke.
What's up?
What's up?
Exactly.
That could go awfully bad. Like, what's up? Like, nah, I was just saying hello.
Hi.
Yeah, I was just saying, hey, how you doing?
you know,
But you just
you
taking
know,
what's up to a whole nother level.
you're
It
right.
doesn't need to be.
If I say how's it going, you might think I'm the police. I might just roll with that. Hey, how's it going, brothers? Oh, he's a cop. Cool. My shopping experience was smooth.
That is crazy.
Yep. So definitely where you from, where we met, and where we are going. I think plays a very significant part in how we are interacting with each other socially in our communities because of many of the things that you all just discussed as far as the where you from and how people value that, the dynamic um of people not being exposed to anything else, so where they from is what they hold near and
Right.
dear
That's
to them. They
that's
kind of wear it as a badge of honor.
Yeah, and there's
um
nothing wrong with that. But
no, it's not, but we also see like a lot of other ethnicities don't do that. Like it's more of a
true.
it's displayed different.
And I
Like I
mean, it
give
might
you
even be that because we're black. I mean, because just from history, what we have is our pride, and where we're from is important to us. So we wear it on our sleeves, and you know, I'm from here. Like it's
Right. And
coming,
it hasn't helped
you
us
know.
as a collective to where we going. Because we not going anywhere together. It's a lot of individual black people, you know what I'm saying, doing their thing, but we not going nowhere together. You know, that I mean, that's
Yeah, but
obvious.
yeah, but that's because, like I said last time, like that's just a lack of culture, right? What those other folks have that we don't is culture. That's why you know we go so hard, pause for our regions and our areas, right? Because that's the only thing that we really have, right? So depending on the story that you accept, you know, being in the diaspora or we always been here, either way, something very bad happened to our ancestors and put us at the bottom or put us in a bad way in this country, right? So we don't have a collective story that we all agree to of what happened, right? We're all different. We all got our different areas.
Right.
Like the Jewish people, like they can agree on Israel, they can agree on the Bible, they can agree on, I mean, not the Bible, the Torah.
Yeah, just some cooperative economics. You know, like I was when I'm updating, I was updating my live, and you know what I'm saying, like I ain't picking on nobody. Like I was updating my live, and I just sent out a request to everybody I knew that had something going on, and I was just like, wow, it's amazing how like people are like a picture, people are like a photo, but then as soon as you reach out, like hey, let's you know what I'm saying, let's do something like this, you know, it's no response, you know, not from everyone, but like the majority. When you get a 98% no response, it's just like, oh man, y'all some haters, or y'all competing, or you know what I'm saying, or uh what's the was is either you hating, either you compete, even you copying, trying to bite, you know what I'm saying,
Hmm.
or you just lazy, you know. Real talk. Like it's either one of them four or a combination of them four, you know. But clearly I'm not hating or trying to compete because I'm like, let's play together.
Correct.
Right.
You know?
Cooperative economics work, bro.
Yeah.
Teams win.
Like us supporting us. How do we do that if we don't actively do it?
It can't just be words. It got to all be actions.
Right. But
Actions
that's
speak
why I
louder
say it's
than
no
words.
hope because you know, like they don't want to do it. Like clearly because the actions are reflective. We can sit up here and talk till we blue in the face, but if the actions aren't reflective of it on things that we value, things that we, you know, that we tell people, that we things that we put our word on and value it. If our actions don't reflect, then it's just like, man, your word ain't nothing. You know, you just somebody else popping a whole bunch of whatever, but no action. You know, whether it be personally or professionally.
Correct.
Yeah. So where we going? That's that now. Now this is the like we want to land this plane now. Okay,
Hmm.
where we from? So now we've realized that where you from can have an effect on your ability to meet people, because if you don't get exposure, you know, if somebody doesn't expose you to something, then you may just be limited to that environment where you're at, and you never leave that environment. So all you'll know is just what you know how to survive within that environment.
And you will probably thrive in that environment.
Yeah, you'll definitely thrive, but there's a way to thrive negatively, and there's a way to thrive.
Correct.
Yeah, you know, so it's but you can thrive.
That's what I
That's for
say.
sure.
In that environment.
Right. We see how in that environment it affects people, and then we see how when a person is able to grow up somewhere, learn some things, develop some habits, stereotypes, learned, trained, all these different things that, programmed information. And then you go into a whole nother environment where you get exposed to something different. When you go into that environment, now you're meeting new people. And I just speak from my personal experience. Like, none of the relationships that I have with people now that I value have anything to do with where I'm from. All of it has to do with where we met and where we're going. And then some of it doesn't even have to do with where we met, because that's not that significant. That's a memory, depending on the relationship. Well, you know what? Maybe all of them are memories, depending on the relationship, because the significant ones, it's all about where we met at.
Of
Um,
course.
but now, for what we've built, the relationship, what we put into the boxes, is about where we going. It
What
don't have,
have you done for me lately?
like, it don't have nothing to do
Nothing.
with where we was from.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, like, if people hold on to a lot of that stuff from where they from, they won't make it where they at.
Right,
Where they
exactly,
met
because
where
they're
they
living
met
in the
somebody.
past. Yeah, they're living in the past and they can't let go of whatever happened in the past to make it to the future.
Where we have habits, right? And that's what I'm talking about, like the habits, the
Right, doing things
stereotypes.
or not doing things. Uh, like just how you were just saying about and I mean obviously I don't know any of your friends or your cousins or what have you, but you decided you were going to go to the Coast Guard. Okay, and you said I'm sure that significantly put your life on a different trajectory with you know as if you weren't going to do it. I mean, obviously everyone does things and there's different outcome, you know and if you're I mean, let's take your personal situation out of it, actually. But just
It's all
in
good. Go
terms of,
take use
you
me.
ask somebody to do what?
Use me. Yeah, use me.
Okay, all right, okay. So, like, you went to the Coast Guard, right? You said, and that, changed your life tremendously. You got all these opportunities, you met these people, you accomplished so many things, you traveled the world and more, you know. And you said in the beginning, before you were going to join, or when you first joined, you asked some of your partners to say, like, hey, you want to come join up with me? This will be really cool, all these opportunities to do these different things. You'll have education paid for, whatnot. They didn't
I
want
ain't
to.
say all that. I ain't say all that. I ain't know
You
nothing
didn't.
about that. I ain't know
Ah,
nothing about
Yeah,
that. I was just
not
infomercial.
too many. Not too many of us knew all that.
nah, I was just trying to cook. I was just like,
We just
man,
needed to
Okay,
go.
you
maybe I
know what
went a
I'm
little too
saying?
far, but basically,
Yeah,
you were
like
trying to give them,
I'm wild
a
out here.
way
So
to. You
I
were
was
trying to give
wild.
them a way out, or not necessarily out, but a different path of life to show them something different. And they didn't want to. That's okay. Everyone's path is different, but maybe that might be speak towards a stereotype. I mean, I don't know because I don't want to judge anyone, but maybe people are comfortable where they're at and they don't want to venture out.
It was stereotypes. I heard people say stuff like, man, you
Okay.
joined in the army. You
Okay,
know what I'm
good.
saying? Like, no, I'm
Right.
not joining the
Like you about to
army.
be a white man's bitch. Like what? What you doing?
All of that. All of that
Yeah.
stuff. Like it was and I had that too. But I just had more of a desire to want to do something different. Like I
Exactly.
just
You
I
wanted
ain't
to
I'm
walk a
never
different path.
scared. Like Bone Crusher. I ain't never scared.
I ain't never scared.
Yeah, I ain't never scared. So I was just trying to, like, I wanted to do something different. Like I already knew what one path had for me already. And I had already been down
Exactly.
another path already. And I ain't really like where that was going. So I knew that the other path would probably just have me back down that same path again. So shout out to my mother. Shout out to Nana V. She said she dated a really nice guy named Tony that was in the Coast Guard. And I said, what's that, Ma? And she said, check it out. Tony was nice though. And I was like, I bet. And then I was in the Coast Guard about 12 days later, real talk.
Shout out to Tony.
You know. And shout out to all my brothers that's still in the Coast Guard doing their thing and all the armed forces out there, man. You know what I'm saying? I
So
know
so
it's
like
some
I
Thank you
guess
for your
the
service, everybody.
no, you're welcome. The question I have, are we saying that stereotypes are bad or negative? Or are
oh,
we just saying
no.
that they are
No, I don't
that
think
they just
they're
are
all
what they
bad.
are?
I think
That's
it
what
is
I'm
what you
going with.
make it,
I'm going with they are what they are. I'm going with that too, Jazz. It is what you make it.
it is what it is,
You know,
as they say.
yeah, like I'm going with all of those. I'm going with the collective that just challenge ourselves to know when it's just like the words, right? It's in the same like a
Hmm.
stereotype. Just challenge ourselves to think like, am I being stereotypical with this situation? Or,
Right.
because sometimes it's valid. Like if a person look unsavory, look like they about to do something crazy, like you supposed to go with that. You know? Yeah, like you supposed to go with that. You're not supposed to be like, oh, I don't want to be judgmental here. And then you
No,
end up
because
being a
no,
victim.
because you could be
So what I
saving
got a whole
yourself. That
face
could be an
mask on.
unsafe situation.
But everybody could run around with face masks the last couple years and it wasn't no thing. So are we
Right.
desensitized to the
Exactly.
face mask too? Or is it back to a stereotype like, oh, that must be a, you know, and those are things, those challenges, because we have some people that are wearing the face mask to do, to do whatever they doing. Um
But
elite,
mostly are wearing for fashion.
but some people, it's fashion too, right?
Right? Yeah. Like 'cause they got the ones with the designs on them and stuff like that. So I guess there's a whole market for that look.
Right.
Right. I'm not sure. I doubt that those stores are selling their accessories to robberies and stuff like that, right?
Like they don't care.
They just
you know
selling costume. There you go.
you know I wouldn't care if you bought a whole outfit from my website and then went and did something foul. I would just be, like, wow, I ain't want to get clout like that. That's
You
not the
know,
type of advertisement. I would have rather you wore it to work or around family and shared it, you know what I'm saying,
correct, correct.
versus doing something that, had us on the news looking crazy. Like, I don't want to wear that. That person does this. you know, and falling into a stereotype. So people who commit these type of crimes wear that type of clothing.
Right.
That's
Wear a
how the baggy jeans and and all of that
or
stuff,
skinny
and
jeans nowadays.
Super predator.
and those things became stereotypes too, just on presentation. So
What you talking about?
that's
Skinny
a
jeans?
skinny jeans.
No, what were you saying?
Who, me or Ali? Well,
No, it
Ali,
was
what were
you.
you saying?
okay. Um, the clothing, like it's always been a perception, like with clothing, you see somebody dressed a certain way, it's always, oh, they a thug,
Oh, yeah, that's why I said you said
you know.
baggy jeans, and I said now you see skinny jeans.
Well, I'm speaking
But
from
I
my
mean
age.
both.
I'm
Yeah, I
speaking
think
from
I
my
think
age.
skinny jeans were like the combat to the baggy jeans, right? So look, I'm not a thug. I really don't have anything in my pants or my pockets or nothing, right? Like that's what it
Man,
almost
they
seemed
is
like.
skinnies with a whole AR-15 down their leg. Like,
Yeah, I know, but
like,
that's now though. I
you
don't
know,
know, man. Like when it
I'm
comes to fashion, the fashion is weird and it don't seem to be functional. Like I don't know. It seemed like even the baggy jeans was functional back in the day, right? Like like now, like I don't know, skinny jeans and all that stuff. I don't think you can run fast. I don't think you can fight. I don't think you can do nothing in
man,
tight clothes.
I don't think the young guys fight anymore. There's a whole lot of murders going on. But
That's true.
definitely and that's not a stereotype. We see it going on. We see young men in skinny jeans creating a
Maybe
whole,
that
create
is a stereotype though, because
the
if
young men in the skinny jeans are going to
yeah,
commit crime.
no, I'm talking about as far as
Yeah, I mean,
that
just
they
it doesn't
committing
matter
murders and
what you
stuff
wear,
like
you're
that.
gonna commit a crime.
I mean, well, as I gotten older, my clothes have gotten a little bit more fitting, you know. Plus, I lost weight too, so I wanted, I could style. I want to style my stuff, but we also come from an era where we didn't wear spandex, and that's what the jeans are kind of like, um,
Correct. Like
they
you
kind
and
of like
your
the same
sister
thing.
wouldn't put your pants on the same way.
No, we would no. I don't have to lay down to put my pants on.
What?
Yeah, I got sisters, but
Nah.
you know, got a lady, you know what I'm saying? They lay down and put the pants on sometimes. It's like you can be, but that's what I'm talking about in those instances with the skinny clothes. I don't think it's the clothes that's, causing the people to do what they doing. I think it's a lot of the stereotypical stuff of having to represent where you from, having to be the thug, having to
Correct.
be the trap king, having to be, the gangster, and all those stereotypical things that it's like, why is it a badge of honor to go to prison?
Exactly.
You know, like I had a homeboy tell me, and I love him, you know what I'm saying? He's still my homeboy. I love him from a distance. But I had a homeboy tell me yeah, like you real, but you ain't never go to jail.
Hmm.
like, so I needed to go to jail for what? How about sailing around on the ocean with a whole bunch of men in the middle of the ocean? How about that?
Yo, that's that is
How about
absolutely prison, bro. Like, can't nobody tell me that floating is not the equivalent of jail or prison. All right, because you locked down, bro. There's nowhere to go.
yeah, 270 feet. That's it.
Right.
That's
Nowhere
it.
else to go.
Nowhere else
And
to go.
plus,
And
the
some of
city
those
doesn't
places
have
are off limits. So you don't even got the whole 270
Correct.
feet.
Correct.
you know 378 feet. You still don't you some of them places are off limits. You don't even have,
Correct.
full reign
Correct.
to go. So it's just like those are those stereotypical things that we keep on seeing that are shaping people's, shaping things to make
so
it difficult
basically
for where we going,
it's trying to say, I'm sorry.
for trying to get there. It's making it to where we can't get there, but some of us can, because people still holding on to things that they think are of value, stereotypical things that they think are of value, and it's stopping them from getting with people who still love them to say, let's go here. You
Like
don't,
a hood pass, maintaining a hood pass, like
yeah,
the
that's
the
crazy.
hood the hood pass, whatever that is, right?
Yeah,
That's
whatever
that's
that
a
means, I'm not sure about that one.
right?
So you're saying
Yeah.
basically your friend, he was saying like
See a hood.
he
No, see
might,
a hood. Hold up. Let me address this real quick, Jazz,
okay.
because I like that. A hood pass a little different for me, God, because I've been in the hood for real. So if I'm not doing any criminal activity, I should still be able to go in the hood and barbecue and chill and you know what I'm saying, and kick it with my homeboys, people I ain't seen in a while. You know,
Hmm.
it's
That's
just,
true.
is that safe? Are they upset? Are they jealous because you on something different when you're not around?
Most
are
likely.
they upset? Are they jealous? Where I have to where I have to use my own discernment, or and I just say like it ain't we talking about this, but I just do this in general. You have to pick and choose where you go. You have to know where you going to certain places, how you're gonna be received. If you know it's gonna be something negative, don't go. If you think it's gonna be something negative, don't go. Preserve your peace. Plain and simple. But you would know how people have been treating you prior to even to your arrival, the majority of time. I ain't talking about like a doctor's visit. You need to be there. I ain't talking about going on, planning a trip or going to a concert or something like that. We talking about directly interacting with people that are more focused on where they from than about where they trying to go or their ability to go somewhere else, or you helping them go somewhere else because all they do is look at the material that you've obtained, and they also correlate that to some type of status or some type of glorification or whatever it may be, versus saying like, damn, I could learn something. Will you show me how you did that? Will you tell me how you did that? Then to automatically choose a stereotype to box a person in and say, oh, uh, he think he better than me now. But he don't think he better than you because he still be trying to link up with you to do stuff. It's you who think he better than you because you won't try, because then that person won't allow themselves the opportunity to be helped. What you think about that, fam?
I'm definitely rocking with the aspect of a hood pass, right? But I guess I was more so referring to not something so positive. Um, I guess the black card or something more negative, more because your hood pass was righteous and honorable, right? That's the majority of people that's from that's from the from the hood are not criminals, are not menaces to society, if they're not monsters. The majority are decent citizens that go to work, go to school, take care of their families, and move out and move on, and every once in a while want to come back and see where they came from, right? Like ain't nothing wrong with that. I guess what I was talking about was all the negative stuff, which is kind of what you was talking about too, right? Like it's the idea of somebody could lose their black card, or they can lose their right to be considered black enough because they
Right,
don't.
to be in a certain place because they left and they did better for themselves, or
Yeah,
they might have
now they
been in
don't
a
speak with
certain
the same.
job that's
They don't speak with the same vernacular no more. They have a more reserved palate, or more refined
right. They
palate,
talk proper, whatever.
or
Yeah.
whatever proper means, right? Like, you know, right? Um, those things matter, and it's all individual. Like like that collective we. I think that's a wrap, and I think that's never ever gonna happen. I don't think humans. I think it's gonna take aliens, and I really think the aliens are gonna have to say something specific about humans in order for us to, you know, rally together in kumbaya. Besides that, I think it's going to be a bunch of tribes, right? I think too many of us in one place get too many ideas, and it's going to be a mess, right? But a bunch of tribes and us doing our own little things, staying in our own little bubbles and traveling and intermingling with other tribes,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like we just need to get our tribes together, right? We're so focused on the everybody. We're so focused on people who are not necessarily in our tribes, or we're trying to build our tribes that,
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. I know what you mean. Like we're focused on our own. When you say tribe, you mean our what do you mean exactly when you say tribe?
yes, your circle, right? Like your group, your core,
Right,
right? Like
your social circle, your friends. So
yeah,
your people, they're so concerned with, what's, which obviously you should be concerned with your own core friends, but to really grow, you got to think outside the box, unbox yourself, so to speak, and think greater than what you left behind or what your past is, where you're from, and go start thinking about where you're going, which is thinking outside of just your small, tight knit group of people that you grew up with and, your friends, whoever, and, try to venture out and, um, venture out of your little safety bubble, your world, your hood, whatever, and experience life outside that. And, but you can't be, I mean, it might be, it's difficult for some people because, you might be looked at a certain way. You're already, when I say looked at a certain way, I mean, like you leave your hood, you leave your place where you're from, and then, people look at you sideways because they're like, oh, you're leaving? Like, what, you think you're better than us because you're getting out of here and you're trying to better your life, or, whatever. But that's the risk that people take when they want to go on a new journey and, you know, where they're going.
change
Unknown
is
risk.
scary.
Unknown risk. And shout out to BK Soul Farm.
Completely
Brett said it's gonna take aliens for us to get it together.
not aliens. Hold on.
Aliens gotta come down. It ain't nothing.
Nah,
It's gonna
bro. Like,
On
take
yo, look
high.
at
aliens.
we had a whole pandemic, bro. We had a whole virus that took over the whole planet. Like the whole planet was under the gun of a needle, and everybody ran out and bought all the toilet tissue. Right, right.
TP. It's a TP spree.
Right.
It
Like instead
was
of cats
plenty of
hoping,
rice. It was plenty of rice on the shelves. There wasn't no toilet paper.
instead of cats hoping that they don't get diarrhea, everybody was planning for getting diarrhea. I'm like I'm like dummy, but if you got diarrhea, you're gonna go to the hospital. Like you don't need all that toilet paper. Like that's crazy.
Crazy.
No, because they won't let you in because there's COVID.
And I'm talking about early on though, right? Like
I know, I know.
it was nuts, right? Like it was bananas. So yeah, it's gonna definitely take something major, you know.
Aliens. It's gonna
If a
take
virus didn't do it, bro, it's gonna take whole aliens, man. Like,
That's crazy.
man.
But I got to sign off, guys. I got to get to work in the morning. But as always,
Okay.
it was awesome talking to you
definitely.
guys and continue the conversation.
Thank you, Jazz, for joining us. Be
Thanks,
back.
sis.
We'll
All
be
right. See
back
you guys
next
next
Sunday
week.
doing it
Right.
again.
Same
Have a
place.
good night.
Bye bye.
Now, I see you got some people that want to join.
We got some people in the back chat. They pulled up. Can you see them?
I can't. I only see the comments. I don't see.
I dropped the link. Maybe maybe I'm not dropping the link correctly. So um I don't know. A couple people earlier came up, but it's all good.
Word.
Yeah, if anybody wants to come up, maybe they can come up. It's fine. Um, I think the link is in the chat right there. Matter of fact, the link is in the chat.
Yeah, no, I seen it in there.
Yeah. So if anybody wants to come up, you can come up. Yeah, the link is in the chat, y'all. All y'all gotta do is hit the link in the chat.
Yo, guy, you noticing how like all these like this whole thing about communication, like all these words, man, like because I don't know, like I don't see how we get around stereotypes, right? Like short of just starting over and just like literally just we all say, hey, I don't see color no more or whatever, right? Or I don't see gender anymore. Like how do you? I don't know how to get. I don't know how to get away from it, bro.
Yeah, me neither. That's
I don't know
that's
how
what
to-
that's why we talk about these things that we stuck with, and they so important in our day-to-day activity. Like they control, so those things, those mental mindsets control so many things that we do every day. They determine and dictate so much of our activity and our responses and our reactions, you
Yeah,
know.
I mean, because
And
like what they say, if you don't change from your environment, um, you're probably gonna react or respond in the same manner in which your the previous generation did, unless you do something different, and then you got to be in a different place doing something different, and then your children got to see you doing something different, and then they got to do something different in order for y'all to now be doing something different, right? Like it's hard. That's hard.
that is right. That is. But then I'm also not scared of doing something hard, not scared
That's true too.
of stepping up to a task and challenging myself to learn something, or at least see if it's going to help me improve, at least see what it's going to do for me, at least see how it affect me, see if I actually do this, and how will it be beneficial to me. um
Yeah, but that's because you're not looking at it, mom. Like you a doer, right? Like you are creative, you are a producer, right? And if more people got into cultivating instead of just jaw jacking, right? Everybody want to talk, everybody want to sound smart and be the most articulate. I might say the wrong words, bro. I'm cool with that.
yeah.
I'm cool. I'm cool with cats, not getting me, and only a few cats actually, vibing because that's who I'm talking to anyway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking to everybody, right? Because everybody can't see me, everybody can't hear me, and I'm looking for my tribe. I'm talking to those people, and if you want to join, that's cool too. But
They want to join the chat. Tell them where they can sign up at, guys. And they want to join the chat, fill out a membership. Look, we're gonna bring a guest up to the stage. K. O'Neal says success is not always easy.
nah, I don't think it can ever be easy, right?
Yeah,
I think
let's
even
bring
those
you
cats
up.
with a silver spoon in their mouth, they gotta be able to maintain it.
Yo,
Turn your volume down, Ron Whitehurst. What's going on? What's going on, family?
it was good.
How you
Can
feel
y'all hear
about
me?
how you? Yeah, we hear you.
All right.
How you
Peace,
feel
God.
about how you feel about stereotypes?
You're always gonna have stereotypes, no matter what. It wouldn't be the world if you didn't have stereotypes.
Talk
What you
about it.
mean about stereotypes?
You said it wouldn't be the world if we didn't have stereotypes.
Nah, you gotta have them because people stereotypes come from a place where people done enough people or enough people that's alike done did the same thing. So some people might like their style, but might not be the type of people that represent the stereotypes. You know what I'm saying? Like if you look at like Run DMC, they started off as they rappers, but they use the stereotype of the way they dress as drug dealers. So they look like drug dealers, but they really was rappers, and they ain't robbed nothing or steal nothing or sold nothing in the streets. That's the way they like to look.
That was a cool way.
It was marketable. It served the purpose.
Yeah.
So you gotta have it to do something. Just like
Yeah.
selling a product, like if I if you see enough people like Louis Vuitton or Gucci wouldn't be what it is if it wasn't for the type of people that wore them, the style, the way they probably designed it to wear it a certain way, but when black people get a hold to it, they wear it a different way and make it look more different and more suitable for the eye, other than just wearing the way they designed it. You gotta think like a lot of you got big people like clothes that was made for skinny people, but big people like to wear them. So some people took two shirts and made one. You know what I'm saying? And then you see how the designers took it. It was like a lot of fat people like our clothes, so they started making it for big people. Like Coogee sweaters was made for big people, but they seen little people like wearing them, so they started making smaller sizes.
Right. So the stereotype of rocking a Coogee sweater probably gonna get you some ladies. You know what I'm saying?
And plus, the way it looked was, the design was, different too.
Yeah. And the stereotype of this is what's in style. You know, and
But
I think that's trends though. I think sometimes that's trends.
but
We want
nah,
to
because in the beginning when Coogee first came out, when we bought $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 sweaters, it was one of a kind.
oh, they were custom when they first came out.
Yeah, it was just one of a kind.
Yeah, that tell you I ain't had no money when Coogie's first came out. I didn't know they was custom when they first came out.
Yeah, they came with a button with extra buttons and a needle to pull the thread up that got loose
Oh man.
with directions in it.
He said, "What directions is it?"
Wow. Shout out to my man, rest in peace, Brandon Freeman McKenzie. He had the Coogee sweaters.
Mm.
Yep. Brandon had Coogee sweaters.
I got me a Coogee sweater, but
I'm at the boogie, fam.
I did a lot of stuff to get it.
Yeah. All right. Well, we thank you for your input, Mr. Whitehurst. We're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna have you drop down. But thanks for pulling up and thanks for your insight on
Man,
everything.
peace, God.
Peace.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be able to get around it, bro. Like stereotypes are just here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just, I think the word is just bad. Like it just sounds like a bad word. It sounds like a negative word. It sounds like somebody's being racist. That's what it sounds like.
right. It's the racism, it's the separatism, it's
It sounds
all these tisms that come with
like,
the
but they
they
just
come with these types. Like it's like, wow, stereotypes lead to these tisms, you
yeah,
know.
and
And
that's the truth, right? And but that don't make him wrong.
No, we agree. Like, just summing it up for the night, because I know we get ready to get out of here. We agree that we all have stereotypes that we subscribe to. We also know that there are some positives about stereotypes and, a lot of negatives. But it's no getting away from them, no matter what we do. It's kind of like the last show, do the words control us or do we control the words? How much of the stereotypes, do we allow to dictate or determine our actions? And that's just something that we just getting people to examine. We talking about it, examining ourselves in our daily activity. So it ain't like we just putting something on y'all that we ain't doing ourselves. It's still a struggle with us because we still human and we still in this world. And we have the same type of education, same type of programming, exposed to the same things, American culture. That's where we get these things from. So some may call it black culture, some may call it this culture, hood culture, whatever. I'm gonna just go ahead and call it American culture right here on DBCHEFTV.
I co-sign that. That's the only culture we have here in America is American culture.
That's it. And with that said, we're gonna close out the show. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Make sure you like and share this video. Subscribe to the channel. Also, we have links down in the description. If you want to support the channel, there's links down in the description box for you to be able to do that. And we thank you for that. Everyone have a positive and productive start to their week. Smiles and love and peace to everybody. Thank you for pulling up.
Peace.